The Lord is our shepherd, I shall not want. Him maketh I lie down in a green pastures. Him leadeth I beside still water them. Him restoreth I soul. Him leadeth I in the path of righteousness for him name's sake. Yea! Though I rasta go walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I can't fear no evil. For thy rod and thy staff them comforted I and I. Uno prepare a table before right in the presence of our enemy them. Uno anointed I head with uno oil, my cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy I go follow I all the days of I even. Me I go dwell in the house of the Lord God. Jah kadama we groma bea tela exact beer tana istalina bashante shante 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 kadama we groma bea tela This is the Black Pot, aka Kukushonemo, where we speak truth to power. And my name, Black Rasta. Now, in every traditional African home, there is a black pot. And each time this black pot sits on the fire, there is something super sumptuous cooking. Ingredients of so many different types, shapes, and sizes, aromas, and even flavors. Put aside all their differences and relocate into the black pot where they are subjected to some amount of heating. Then they produce sumptuous food in all its palatability. Ironically, they do not even partake in the eating of the food. It is us, the eaters, who do. Yet every time, the black pot and the ingredients will rise to the occasion to provide nothing but sumptuousness for the people. What lesson can we pick from this? Very simple. How many of us believe that tomorrow shall take care of itself? Therefore, let's not think about tomorrow. Let's think only about today. How many of us believe that, yes, because we will not live long enough to enjoy the fruits of the mahogany, why do we have to plant it now? Rather, let us plant onions and tomatoes, which are one-season crops. Harvest, enjoy, eat, die, go, and be forgotten. How many of us believe that all poor people are lazy? How many people believe that it's by the dint of hard work that is why they are able to make it? My brother, my sister, this is what the show is all about. It's about rewiring the mindset of our people. No politics. It's all about patriotism. Here we do not criticize, but if we must criticize, we'd only just criticize to build and not to destroy. That is why we say we are in the service of God and country. This is the Black Pot, aka Kukushonemo, where we speak truth to power. And of course, we are live on our YouTube channel. It's called the Black Empire Media. Yes, Black Empire Media. Black is spelled B-L-A-K-K. We are also live on Facebook with the same name, Black Empire Media. Please make sure that you send your comments as we begin this show. And we are happy to have you here. Well, I was supposed to be out of the country, but I am still right here. I missed my flight on Tuesday, Ethiopian Airlines, and the amount of money they were charging for penalty was just too much. So I decided that, well, it's not an emergency. Why don't we stay away and travel next year? My brother, my sister, that is how flexible we are. So we are right here. And that is for the bigger picture. Thank you so much. And to all the people in America who are waiting for us to arrive and all that, we are not coming immediately. But next year, we will make time and come again. We are one big family. Please accept our apologies and any inconveniences would very much, my brother, my sister, be to the umpteenth time apologize for. This is the Black Pot, aka Kukushonemo, where we speak truth to power. And I'm happy to be part of the family one more time. Spread the word. We are here to stay. and we're going to make sure that everything happens. Thanks so much to ISIT. Now, ISIT is ISIT, which simply means in spirit, in truth. Now, it's a new social media app, and this new social media app is doing magic, built by Ghanaian engineers in America. Oh, gosh. And what does it do? Listen, you can make audio calls, video calls, and even go live. You can also send messages, text messages. It does better than your regular social media app. You know why? It is all positive. Now, they have powerful algorithms that remove anything negative before it even comes out. Connect with family and friends, make clear crystal memories. And, of course, when we talk about ISIT, we're talking about in spirit, in truth. It is very, very serene. Now, if your social media app is full of violence, racism, and even nudity, what are you talking about? Jump ships and come over to ISIT, ISIT, in spirit, in truth, and connect with family and friends. This is the Blakk Pot, a.k.a. Kukushonomo, where we speak truth to power. And my name, certainly, Blakk Rasta. Now, today we have a number of issues we need to look at, and I need you to come along. My brother, my sister, yes, I need you to come along. This is what it is. Number one, look at the issues coming up. Reverend Owusu Bempah disappointed in Akufo-Addo. Come here, my youth. This is Reverend Owusu Bempah. He was my schoolmate at Tia Amade Secondary School, Kumasi, and also my classmate at Tia Amade Secondary School. Oh yes, I mean they were bigger boys, we were little ones, but we still sat in the same class. In school, we called him Libya. He was a very, very wonderful football player, and he also did athletics for the school. He was unique. But there was something about him that was really interesting. Everywhere you saw him, his lips were shaking in prayer. Tongues. You got near him and you would not understand one word. You would only be hearing what you would term as gibberish. You can never take that away from Reverend Owusu Bempah. In school, he was the president of the Scripture Union. We simply called it the SU. And they were those who were laying hands on people and they were falling in the class that had been turned into a church every Sunday in a Muslim school. T.I. Ahmadiyya Secondary School, Kumasi. Those who do not know the full meaning, Talimul Islam Ahmadiyya Secondary School. That is Teaching Islam Secondary School. He was there as a Christian. And the interesting thing about T.I. Ahmadiyya Secondary School and all other Ahmadiyya schools in Ghana is the fact that freedom of worship is 100%. You will not be forced to go to the mosque. You will not be forced to engage yourself in any Muslim activities. All you would have to do would be what you would want to do in terms of your religion. That was the school he attended. And we sat in the same classroom. I knew him. He knew me. We met several times. My brother, my sister. I wasn't surprised when I heard that he had become a big Christian leader. And he's one of the pioneers of the prophetic in Ghana. That is Reverend Owusu Bempah. There was a time many people thought he was venturing too much into politics and that he should stay on the pulpit and forget politics. But he said, if God reveals to me and it's about politics, I will give it out. It doesn't matter. He fell into trouble. He was arrested. And then he was chained to his bed. He got angry with the president in power, Nana Akufo-Addo. Now, listen to this. He was the one who prophesied that Akufo-Addo would be president. And when Akufo-Addo became president, in fact, in his acceptance speech, he mentioned the name of Reverend Owusu Bempah. And the whole hall went into a rapturous disaster. A cataclysmic explosion. Everybody was clapping for Reverend Owusu Bempah because he had risked his life, in fact, to prophesy against Mahama. In fact, sometimes even insulting the tenure of office of Mahama. People saw him as the nation's prophet. Most of the prophecies he gave came to pass. We were even told that he gave the president a magic chair, in quotes, a chair that he had to carry everywhere he went, and some other such things, including anointing him with the horn of a ram full of oil. All these things, my brother, my sister, the president appreciated and mentioned him in so many different areas. But his second tenure of office changed everything. He felt Owusu Bempah had become quite arrogant with some of the utterances he made. And I felt the same way too. For instance, Reverend Owusu Bempah went to the house of Agrada, a fetish priestess at the time. And he went with his boys, his thugs, who wielded guns, and said, I am coming here to visit you with harm. And nobody dares arrest me in this country if you are not arrested first because of what you did first. I felt that was arrogant. Well, the president came in, and then the authorities also were unleashed on Reverend Owusu Bempah. He was arrested and sent behind bars to show him that this is a country of laws. He didn't take it kindly, and he started talking ill about the president. I prophesied for you to come into power. You came into power, I supported you. And look at what you have done to me. I felt his pain. Yes, it could have been handled better. But my brother, my sister, nobody is bigger than the truth in this country. But in a very nice way of, my brother, my sister, doing damage control, the vice president, Mahamudu Bawumia, went to Reverend Owusu Bempah's church. Why did he go there for? Come here! He went to the church to greet Reverend Owusu Bempah just when he was released from, I won't call it a prison, from cells. He visited him, and then they spoke nicely. He even took to the pulpit and spoke to the people. My brother, my sister, was it a way of appeasing him? Was it a way of saying, oh, sorry for whatever happened to you? Whatever it was, Owusu Bempah had a reason for getting angry with the president. What was the reason? He said, I prophesied for you to come into power. No other person did. I risked my life to see you come into power. Only God knows how much I spent on this prophecy and following up on the same. But now, you are new friends with another prophet in Kumasi, Victor Kusi Boateng. So he felt betrayed. I am supposed to be your prophet. Now you are following another man who you call your prophet. And I am one of the pioneers of the prophetic in Ghana. So I see that as a way of slandering me. But my brother, my sister, Owusu Bempah kept mute. Many were expecting that he would prophesy and prophesy over and over. The closest he got to prophesying about Akufo-Addo was the fact that God had taken the key away from the NPP, but had not given it to any party yet. And that he would prophesy and tell which party the key had been given to. Mahama was sharp enough. He ran to him, knowing very well how much power this man wields when it comes to his utterances. When he was in the hospital, he visited him, and when he came out of hospital, he sent people to visit him again. So, Mahama was getting closer and closer to him. Why are we telling you all these stories? Remember, he prophesied against Mahama. He even said that Mahama was the one who killed Atta Mills so that he would rise to the top. Do you all remember that? Reverend Owusu Bempah said, in the spirit, he saw blood all over Ghana. And Atta Mills, the president who had died whilst in office, was shedding tears of blood and mentioning Mahama, Mahama, Mayoden, Mahama, Mayoden. Is Owusu Bempah going to change his mind? Is Owusu Bempah beginning to get closer to Mahama? Or is he getting back to Nana Akufo-Addo? Have they patched up their relationship? I got news for you. Come here! Watch me. Watch the headlines. Hey, why I don't go to Akufo-Addo anymore? Reverend Owusu Bempah explains. Run it, my youth. Watch it. It says, Reverend Isaac Owusu Bempah, a clergyman and a close associate to President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo has voiced his disappointment in the president's leadership and management of the country. Disappointment, right? According to him, the president has disappointed him, given the realities presently on the ground. Reverend Isaac Owusu Bempah, who was speaking during an interview on OKFM, noted that he's unhappy with how things are going while President Akufo-Addo is in charge. I am a man who likes to tell the truth, and what I know President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo was bringing on board has changed, which is why I do not go to him again, not because he has wronged me, he said. And listen to this. Watch it. Describing how he has been let down by the president, Owusu Bempah, stated that there are notable disparities between what he, referring to Akufo-Addo, said he would do and the realities presently. I had a lot of faith in him. The Nana Addo I knew in the past would usually call me and he would share ideas with me. But now that he has become president, I do not see all the things he has been saying. Sometimes I even question myself if he is still the Nana Addo I knew. Till now, I am confused. He added in tree. Is it clear? Is it clear? Can you see it? Nana Addo used to call him to ask for his spiritual advice. At a point, he distanced himself. But I want to draw your mind to something very, very interesting. You all remember when Nana Addo did this, telling every Ghanaian that what he did was there clearly for everybody to see. Remember? You all remember? We have worked so hard, we have put everything in place, and everybody, that's it. Do you all remember? But remember the same Nana Akufo-Addo told us, there's a lot of money. You are sitting on money yet you cannot see. It's because of bad leadership. And when he came, in fact, we were asked to get out from the money and the money evaporated into their own pockets. My brother, my sister, nobody saw the money anymore. What a shame. His own ministers had millions of American dollars under their beds and in their cupboards. And what did he say? That they didn't do anything wrong, not even money laundering. They shall be exonerated. But I said, I was going to draw your mind to something interesting. Are you ready for that? Come here. Come here. Watch me. Do we all remember when Reverend Owusu Bempah prophesied, listen, that Nana Akufo-Addo was going to be president and that his tenure of office was going to be the best Ghana would ever have? I didn't say that he said that his tenure of office would be the best from this time. He said the best we have ever had and would ever have. That means better than Nkrumah, better than Atta Mills, better than Kufuor, better than Achiampong and the rest. Are we seeing that? Certainly not. So the good old reverend comes out to say, hey, what I knew he was coming to do, he has deviated. So I ask myself, is it possible that in the spirit, God will tell you this man will be president, he became president, and that his tenure of office will be the best, but it rather tends to be very, very sour? Could God get it wrong? Or Nana Addo just refused to be the best? Or because he changed his prophets? Can somebody explain? When Reverend Owusu Bempah said that Nana Addo's tenure of office would be the best we would ever have in Ghana and the best we've ever had, I believed him. Because when I was with him in school, he was genuine. He didn't steal anybody's money. He didn't say a word of lie. He was always on point. And by that track record, I could believe him. Libya, Sewankadia, Mate. And we all supported Akufo-Addo. After all, if you have a man who is gifted to see in the spirit, why pretend that it doesn't exist? I believe in the spirit or the spiritual. Do you believe in the spiritual? My brother, sometimes if you watch the messenger too much, you will miss the message. Write it down. I am saying, sometimes if you watch the messenger too much, you would miss the message. Better still, if you are so critical of the messenger, you would miss the message. Better still, sometimes if you are too critical of the messenger, the message will pass you by. My God have mercy. So Owusu Bempah, the reverend, the prophet, nation's prophet, prophesied that he will be president. He became president. His tenure of his office would be the best. But look at what we are saying. Even the president said that he couldn't do it. But the next government will be able to continue with wherever he stopped and make it better. Do you think that Akufo-Addo's government, as prophesied by Reverend Owusu Bempah, is actually the best that we have ever had in Ghana? Or maybe with a few months left, he will be able to convince us that yes, God really ordained him and he's made Ghanaians happy. Do you think that there's hope for the few months? Reverend Owusu Bempah has lost hope. He says God has become angry with him and taken the keys from him. Come here! This is the Blakk Pot, aka Kukushodomo, where we speak truth to power. Today, we have a lot of messages coming from the men of God, in quotes, the clergymen. Next story, my youth, and watch it. Watch what is happening. I told you. Watch. No hardship in Ghana. And this is Reverend Obofou. Who is he? Kennedy Japan refers to him as a handsome man of God. Is he handsome? Look at the suit he's wearing. My brother, my sister, men of God in Ghana like shiny suits. Sometimes I wonder why, except my Bishop Osetutu. Men of God in Ghana like suits that shine, like glass, like this one. I don't know what it is. Sometimes it looks good on them, but sometimes it makes them also look like comedians at the circus. This is a man who has been preaching well. I got to know him some years back, and I remember I even called him once and told him, man of God, I like the way you preach. Keep it like that. He thanked me. That was the only time we spoke, and we spoke for less than 1 minute. I like it. When I see somebody doing well, if there's a way I can reach out to the people, I normally would like to pat them on the shoulder and say, yo, thumbs up. And if you're not doing too well, I would also do the same. I would call you and tell you you could do this better if you only listen. That's what it is. So this is Reverend Obofou. And he's made a lot of money. He's bought a number of luxurious cars. This is a man who has made a fortune from selling spiritual items to his church members, like Obofou, the cream of witches, or the cream against witchcraft. He also has Yesu Moja. Here is Sobolo, but because it's red, they've prayed on it and they have decided to call it Yesu Moja. There's nothing wrong with that. It's spiritual. When people believe in it and it works for them, that is their faith. My brother, my sister, I will not criticize that and I won't go deeper into it. But I just want to make a point that he made his money from the church. That's it. I hear some of them too do money laundering because the church is not being taxed. People pass their money through the church and they take the money, take their share and give the rest to the money launderers. In other words, they are complicit in money laundering right here in Ghana. We know about all these things, my brother. But what is Reverend Obofou saying? Watch it, my youth. You are complaining there's hardship in Ghana. What should Somalians do? And that is Reverend Obofou firing. Come here, let's fire together. Watch me. He says, the founder and leader of Anointed Palace Chapel, APC, worldwide, and the CEO of Sweet TV, Reverend Obofou, has admonished Ghanaians to lessen the rate at which they ponder over problems, believing them in their lives, bedeviling. He said, Ghanaians should learn to lessen the rate at which they ponder over problems, bedeviling them in their lives. He and treated members of the public not to spend a lot of time thinking about their problems, because the predicament they are grappling with is better than other countries like Somalia if we are to compare the economic situations in both jurisdictions. The man of God claimed that the current state of Ghana is better than Libya, a country where people used to seek refuge. Hence, Ghanaians should not allow problems to overshadow their lives. In a video shared by Amazing TV on their YouTube channel and cited by Ghana Web, Reverend Obofou, who was preaching to his congregants, advised them to focus on the positives and desist from consistently fretting over their challenges. While you have locked yourself in a room and weeping over your burden, someone with the same problem is at the beach enjoying. If you don't get rid of the stress, well, he says, the stress, it will remain forever. No matter the situation, someone's problem is worse than yours. You are claiming there's hardship in Ghana. So what should Somalians do? He quizzed. Dash. Okay. So that's what it is. And when you look at it, this is Somalia. Look at the desert situation there. Water to drink is even a problem. Children are becoming malnourished. Koshoko was founded right here in Gamashi. Yes, Gamashi. But Koshoko has traveled without a visa all the way to Somalia. The children are beginning to see that. There's war. Al-Shabaab is killing people. So Obofou is right to say that if Ghana is hard, it's better than Somalia. But if Ghana is better than some other countries, does it mean we shouldn't strive to get better than those that are better than us? It's like you are last but one in a class of 100 students. You become 99th and you are jubilating that you beat one person. Is that not mediocrity? Can you not strive to get better? Should you forget about your problems? Hey, you can sleep and pretend to forget your problems. You would wake up with the problems staring at your face if you don't do something about it. My brother, I'm going to say two things about this and I'm done. First, let me deal with Obofou. Reverend Obofou, your church members come to you and then they tell you their problems. You give them a beifon and yesu moja to go and drink and sprinkle around and also smear for their problems to go. Do you advise them to pick parcels of land and farm? Do you advise them that their problems, most of the time, could be in the fact that they are lazy? But anybody who comes, it's a spiritual problem. Take Abeifo, take Yesu Moja. Are you not worsening the problems? The churches are even worsening the problems of Ghana more than, my brother, my sister, the politicians are. How many people agree with me? The churches are not preaching any hard work. Obofou and the rest of them, the other bleach-faced guy, what's his name? The guy who refused to pay electricity bills the other time. Obinim, that's his name. You live in a country, you use electricity, you refuse to pay electricity bills. Look how many churches refuse to pay electricity bills. If Black's Night Club will refuse to pay electricity bills, we will know it's a worldly thing. People go there to strip naked and to do things. But when the church refuses to pay, then we know that this is the devil's church. How can you use electricity and you won't pay? What money is going to be used to replenish the energy that has been used for people in distressed areas to also get access to the electricity? No, you don't care. As long as you are comfortable, there's no hardship anywhere. Can you believe this? That's Obofou's thinking. As long as he is fattening on the money of the church people. Remember, we established that he's making his money majorly from the church. And if you are, and you tell your church members that there's no hardship in Ghana, then there's a problem. I like it when you said that yes, there could be hardships in Ghana, but it's better than Somalia. Can I go deeper now? Can I go deeper? Come here. Somalia, does it have gold? Does it have bauxite? Somalia, do they have cocoa? Somalia, do they have oil? Hey, go to Somaliland. Go to Djibouti. And all those areas, my brother, my sister, you will never find cocoa. In Ghana, we are so blessed that when you dig a hole and spit into it, it will grow into a plant. Spit plant. If we are blessed like this, and you are still comparing our hardship situation to a country like Somalia, it means that you don't know what you're talking about. Compare us to other countries that have equal amounts of blessings, and then we'll say that we are at par. Crocodiles and alligators may look alike, but they are not the same. Toads and frogs may look alike, but they are not the same. Yes, we are both countries, but no, we are not the same. We are so blessed. Utterances like this, my brother, my sister, will rather create laziness and what is known as apartheid. In South Africa, they say apartheid. You know what it means? Nonchalance. Indifference. I don't care whether I'm rich or poor. After all, I'm better than another person. It's a mediocre way of thinking. When we do that, we will never rise. Why is it that when Obofou goes to watch football, he wants Ghana to be first? He wants Ghana to pick up the cup. No. Be satisfied with the fact that we also beat somebody. Don't preach like this. It's good to say, do not brood over your problems too much. After all, oh yes, you can get better over that by looking at the positive side. There are some other countries that do not have the kind of blessing you have. So if you sit on this blessing and you are not able to change your status and you keep brooding over it, it means that you are either lazy or you are just simply refusing to climb to the next stage. Is it different from what Obofou preached? Certainly it is. Don't preach mediocrity. And don't make your church members mediocre. Not to Obofou alone, but the rest of the churches that are fattening off the congregation, or because of some spiritual items they sell to them, and also by giving them the word. People pay for it. Just laying their hands on you, you are paying money. Then later, when they are driving their big cars, they tell you that, oh, Ghana is better than Somalia, so it's okay. Meanwhile, when you look at the church, it's poverty that slaps everybody in there. Don't let us preach mediocrity. It's the Blakk Pot, a.k.a. Kukushonemo, where we speak truth to power. When we return, hey, we have more for you. We will also be reading your messages alongside much more. It's coming. Share the message. Spread it out. Share the broadcast. Like it and comment. This is how we will grow. This is the Blakk Pot, a.k.a. Kukushonemo, where we speak truth to power. Hey! Wayo!
Blakk Pot, Kukushonemo.
This is the Blakk Pot, a.k.a. Kukushonemo. At this point, I want to salute my professor, Professor Albion Mens. You know, I love you. I appreciate you. Brother Kwaku, how are you doing? And to all our numerous viewers across the globe. If I mean to mention countries, we will never end this show. We love all of you. Please remember to do business with us. Our numbers would always run on the screen. Pick up the numbers and deal with us. Soon we're going to open up a TV station. Imagine this program on our own TV station across the whole of Africa. I give you 10 years, Africa will be a better continent. It's rewiring the mindset of our people so that we move away from receivers to givers. Come here, my youths. Run the story. The next story we are looking at, and it's rolling on your screen. It says, El Salvador taxes Africans in deterrence. Brother Diana, I'm breaking it down. El Salvador taxes Africans in deterrence. Some people say deterrence. Hey. It's just saying, what's the meaning of this? It means El Salvador, which is a nation whose flag you just saw there, and is surrounded on the left here by Guatemala. Up there is Honduras. Down there is Nicaragua. This is El Salvador. By their name, you know what language they speak. But these are nations, in fact, built by black people. Guatemala. I hear the very first people to go around there as black people were Ghana people. Gua, accordingly, is a Ghana word. What does it mean? When we get into the African history class, we will open up this one after the other. Did you know this? This is El Salvador. It's in Central America, not South America. Central America. That is where El Salvador is. The capital is San Salvador. Somebody from El Salvador is called what? El Salvadorian. That is what it is. My brother, it's a nation of 6.5 million people. Ghana is 5 times bigger than El Salvador in terms of population and even size. My brother, do you know why we are giving you all this? Run the story, my youth. Watch it. This is from Ghana Web. In fact, watch it. It says what? Originally from Yahoo, published by Ghana Web. El Salvador imposed a new $1,000 fee for passengers with an African passport. If you are coming from any part of Africa, you will pay $1,000. But if you are coming outside Africa, you are free. Hold it there. Hold it there. Ha! Ha! Look at the flags there. Are they African flags or not? Yes, they are. Anybody from South Africa going to El Salvador, you will pay $1,000 on arrival. Did you hear that? If you are coming from outside Africa, you are okay, you can go. You know what taxes can do? Apart from the fact that taxes help raise revenue, it's also a mechanism to deter people from a certain act. For instance, if you put taxes on cars that are imported into the country, you want to reduce the number of cars coming to the nation to free up the roads. Why is El Salvador doing this to only Africans? Thank you. Hey, come here. The government of El Salvador is charging a new $1,000 fee for passengers from African countries that fly into its capital's international airport. A measure that comes as countries in the Western Hemisphere aim to stem a record flow of migration across the region. Hallelujah. Did you see it? He says what? that it comes as countries in the Western Hemisphere aim to stem a record flow of immigration across the region. Do you know what that means? To stem means to cut, to stop. So many people are coming into the area. For that matter, they want to find a way of saying, Munko, Mamomba, Ubeba de $1,000, which is the equivalent of 12,000 Ghana cedis. You must pay airport tax, or is it El Salvadorian tax? Listen to this. Salvadorian port authorities said that the measure would be applied to passengers in transit earlier this month, and that the tariffs were for airport improvements, as more passengers were entering, living, and connecting through San Salvador this year compared to previous years. And who is the president? The government of President Nayib Bukele. Do you have his photo? President Nayib Bukele is working hard on modernization and expansion projects at the El Salvador International Airport in order to provide a first-class service to all users and passengers who circulate through the air terminal, reads a statement from the airport agency. Jesus is Lord. Dash it, my youth. You see, South Africa just came out and said, hey, we just realized that we are one big African family. For that matter, Ghanaians coming into South Africa, you don't need any visa anymore. Electronic visa is enough. Just come in, but show us where you are going to stay and how much you have to spend in our country so that you don't become a burden to our taxpayer. That is fair enough, right? You don't pay tax in South Africa. So when you go into South Africa, you don't burden the taxpayer again. True? Now they are stopping pregnant women from even going to America because they don't want them to go and give birth and put pressure on the American taxpayer. Some people say it is fair. So when you see a pregnant woman at the airport pushing a trolley trying to go to America, don't waste your time. You arrive and they'll tell you that, sorry, blah, blah, boom, 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 boom. They will find a way of sending you back. My brother, just the other day, Kenya, as reported to you here, has also opened its borders for the rest of Africa to pass through. Africa is uniting. Small, small, small. And interregional businesses are beginning to also expand and boom up. So the rest of the world is fretting. Hey, now Canada has opened its borders. A lot of Ghanaians are flooding into the country. The UK has opened its borders. Ghanaians are flooding into the area. My brother, we must understand one thing. They are opening the borders because they need you. It's another way of enslaving you. The only difference is that this time around they are not putting shackles around you, and this time around you are paid some money. Some people would disagree with me. African nations, they intentionally make it difficult for you to be able to take care of your people. So your people will run. The much needed labor you need, you do not get it because all your labor force has run away and your country continues to be a burden and it will be dependent on the so-called Western world. My brother, the next Ghanaian president must start announcing from now that, look, my presidency is going to be a hard presidency. It is going to be very, very, very much open. Everybody is going to see what is happening. Whatever penny comes in, whatever penny is spent, you will see. But prepare yourselves. Tie your girdles for a hard, hot run. Because these dirty people in power have messed it all up. Anybody who is campaigning to be president of Ghana and lies to the people that they are going to make the country better, people who have money in their pockets within their first tenure of office, they are thieves. They are there to continue with the stealing that this dirty government started and the other governments. I'm telling you, until Ghanaians learn to sacrifice. Be ready to receive half salaries. Be ready to work more than they receive. To be able to sacrifice to build the building blocks for a better nation. This country will never see the light of the day. Our predecessors have borrowed too much, both in the spirit and also physically. The only way forward is for us to accept the fact that we are, in fact, owing. How do you cancel your debts and run away from slavery? Is by paying up. How do you pay up? What you should eat, don't eat it. Put it aside and start paying so you can walk as a free man again. This is too deep for some people. They will have to chew leaves tomorrow morning before they understand this. They are beginning to stop Africans from coming into their nation by giving them taxes for just flying through their airports. But when Indians come, it's okay. Chinese come, it's okay. Oh, other people come. But Africans, this is so discriminatory. And their point is that there are too many Africans coming into their area. Can you see that? You see why I can never be president? Because I will make the people of Ghana hungry. If I ever become president, all of you will be hungry. We will work without eating. But at the end of the day, your children will eat better. At the end of the day, we will lay down our lives for a better Ghana that will be the envy of many, even America. If we are not ready for that sacrifice, forget it. Some people won't understand. How can you be so much in debt and still be partying? I knew a certain guy who was always borrowing, yet he liked parties. And at every party, in fact, the debtor will come there and hold his shirt. His happiness was always curtailed by debtors. I was working in a certain radio station. I won't mention where. You will know what radio station. And every radio station I go to, I find those kind of people. There at least will be one man who likes borrowing. His salary is never enough. Before the month ends, he's already asking people, Charlie, I go figure some, 200B. They pay, no, I will pay you back. Why? Every time. You are a curse. There are some people at the workplace, every day they are asking, have they paid salaries? Have they paid salaries? Charlie, this month, so much a power. If you are a salary taker and your eye is always fixated on the calendar to see when the month is ending so you get your salary, my brother, so many good things will come passing you by because your eyes are fixated on the calendar and not on the real happiness on the ground. Hallelujah. El Salvador, shame on you. Shame on you again. Shame on you. Dash it. When we return, we shall read your messages. Hey! Hey!
Blakk Kokusho, man.
This is the Blakk Pot, a.k.a. Kokusho, and here we speak truth to power. Let the messages roll. And these are the messages that you've sent to us via Facebook and also YouTube. Come here, my youth. All right? All right. So, Beanman, right? Beeman says, good evening, Black Rasta. Whenever I receive your notification, I'm happy. All right. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. Nice to be here. Paul Skimo says, I am on live with you from Kentucky. Love and respect to my people in Kentucky. Beeman says, my co-workers call me Small Black. Oh, love and respect. You are blessed, my brother. Oxygen says, come here. Who is that devil preventing you from listening to Black Rasta? Come here. Beeman says, more blessings and more fire. Sedu Mutawakil says, I have taken my seat. Black Rasta, and more fire. Sabali, Tours and Consorts, say more fire. Hey, Sabali, respect Sabali. But you need to come and advertise there, you know. Everybody is watching us so that you will be able to get your tours all over the world, right? And we'd like to have a package with you as well so that we can also travel around with our people. We need to rest sometimes. Monty Explorer says, keep the fire blazing, watching from Philly. Okay, Philadelphia. Love and respect, my brother. Ras Osaje for Duabel. Tendan Dogo. Goma Dogo. Ayin Zorbel says, come along! As my father, Black Rasta, roll up today. Black Pot. Francis Ampim says, good evening to you and your crew. Black, the show is live and it's all about Ghana. No one is bigger than the truth. Wayo, more fire. And this one is coming from Facebook. All right, from YouTube. Yeah, from YouTube. Vox says, so are you going to be on radio next week? I like that. I like that. I like that. Well, I'll be able to confirm that tomorrow. Yeah, man. So watch it tomorrow. So we'll be able to confirm whether I'll be on radio next week or not. Yeah? Yeah, why not? I mean, if it serves you, why not? It's all about you. See? Bob Marley said, if life was all about me, then me not need it. All right? King says, Rasta, Black Rasta, how are you doing? Keep the fire burning. Wanini Boy says, good evening, Black. It's good to be back. We miss you. Wayo, I miss you too. Aki Ita, oh Lord, Aki Ita, we missed the flight, you know. I was going to be with Aki Ita for a couple of days, you know, but it didn't work out. We missed it, and I cannot pay $800 to renew, you know. And I was going with a number of people, so 800 times about 5. It wasn't going to be that easy. So why not? We just postpone it until it's okay. It's not too much of a rush. Yo, sir, Aki Ita there. Say, stay strong, my youths. Respect the Aki Ita. He's Jamaican. Yeah. Originally from Hanover, you know. Albert Osei on Facebook says, ganja is fully at work. Ha, 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 ha. Of course, ganja is better than cocaine. Ganja is far better than laziness. Ganja is far better than so many other things, you know. So ganja is good, isn't it? Solajima Wena says, good evening, Black. In fact, ganja is even legalized in Ghana. On paper right now, we're just waiting for another step, and it's good. Yes, sir. All right. So Emmanuel Williams, Mensa Fiagbenya, says, oh, I see. He's replying to the ganja thing. Yeah, you know. But, you know. Ahmed Yakubu says, still, ganja is far better than the akpeteshi you have been drinking. I see if I saw that message, you know. You know, my brother, you see, every time we'll have people who are prejudiced, especially if you don't talk well about their heroes. They don't see the bigger picture. Sometimes it's ignorance as well. They believe that what they know is the right thing. It takes them time to get to know that it's not the right thing. Anyway, Tom Poe says, you don't want to learn, my brother, right? Okay, they are still responding to the, how does ganja man? Tom Poe says, you don't come nowadays, Black. What happened? Yes, we had an issue. But we are back. You know, we are back. Trust me, we are back. We are back. Nana Esiful. Kwenu says, listen to that colloquial expression again before your comments. I love that. He says, listen to that colloquial expression again before your comments. I love that. Nana Esiful Kwenu says, the man enthralled me. Nana Bobie answer says, I'm always here. learning history, vocabularies, and phrases. Big up yourself, Blakk Rasta. You all know will be answer, right? Big up yourself, my brother. Richard Nate says, hey, Blakk. For the first time, my wife and I are seated together listening to you all the way from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, in the United States of America. Oh, gosh. I've never been to Milwaukee. I've never been to, well, we'll find time. And she's so excited. Thanks so much, wifey, and love and respect to Richard Nate. We love you and we appreciate you. Keep your girdles tied here. More fire. I say, we love you and God bless you. I love you too. Eno Adoma Sa says, Zion Genesis says, thumbs up. Love and respect. Yes. All right. So keep the messages coming. Next story. I'm going to take you to the Zambia. And we're going to look at something interesting. Look at the headline. It says what? Watch it. Former Zambian president disgraced. Former Zambian president disgraced. Wow. Run the story, my youth. Hey. Former Zambian president disgraced. This is the former president. How many of us remember this president? Do we remember him? All right, I'll give you details. Run the story, my youth. It says, Edgar Lungu, that's his name. Zambian ex-president stripped of retirement benefits. And this is from the BBC. BBC. Zambia's government has withdrawn retirement benefits and privileges from former President Edgar Lungu following his decision to return to active politics. Come here! Hey! Did you see that? Mr. Lungu lost the presidency to Hakainde Hichilema in 2021, after which he announced his retirement. After 6 years in office, he left the country facing serious economic issues as Africa's most indebted nation. My God. Did you see that? Come here. Hey. Hey, come here. Did you see that? Do you need to see it again? Jesus have mercy. Hey! Mr. Lungu left the presidency to Hakainde Hichilema in 2021, 2 years ago, after which he announced his retirement. After 6 years in office, listen, he left the country facing serious economic issues as Africa's most indebted nation. Zambia in 2021. He returned to politics. Sets a stage for a bruising 2026 presidential race. The former president has already been notified about the immediate withdrawal of his retirement benefits and privileges, according to government spokesman Cornelius Nwitwa. Come here. What? I love this. Watch it. He said it was clearly stated in the law that former presidents who returned to politics would lose their benefits. As a retired president, Mr. Lungu was entitled to 3 security officers, a diplomatic passport, 3 state cars, a furnished house, medical insurance, and funeral expenses on his death. He also enjoyed immunity from prosecution. In a press conference on Wednesday, Mr. Nwita said the former leader would now be treated with equality of the law, just like any other senior citizen of the country. Mr. Lungu is aiming to capitalize on growing dissatisfaction with the continued economic hardships in the country under his successor. Civil society groups have also expressed concern over what they described as the shrinking human rights freedoms in the country. Hold it there. Now I need us to look at this. When he left in 2021, Edgar Lungu, the country was so indebted, it became the most indebted country in Africa. Number 2, when he retired, he was supposed to have security officers. How many? 1, 2, and a third one for 1 man. He was supposed to have a fully furnished house, to have a retirement allowance every month, hefty and strong. He was supposed to have cars. How many? 1, 2, and a third one. Again, he was supposed to have medical insurance all his life. And if he ever died, because politicians don't die, they have a way of bedeviling the nation with their presence, demonic presence, even in death. They will give him funeral allowance to send him home. But the biggest thing, why I want this to remain there, is that he was supposed to get what? Immunity. Immunity. African leaders would have to stop. African countries should scrape this thing out. If I know that whatever I do, upon retirement, you give me all this, and then I will walk away from everything evil that I did whilst I was in power. That's what is called immunity. Why would I do the right thing? The man left the country so indebted, the most indebted country in Africa. Yet you gave him all these benefits. And you added that you would not prosecute him. He should just walk free. You see? So African leaders always, and even in Ghana, we have that dirty law. Now it is a very good opportunity for the Zambians to drag this man to the court and make him answer for the ills he meted out to his country whilst he was in power. Now the immunity has been broken. Now they are going to take back all the cars. They are going to remove him from the state apartment that he was in. And at the same time, all his security will be taken away from him, including his diplomatic passport. Can we do that in Ghana? Can we remove the immunity? The other ones are quite cool. You have a house because you worked for the country and blah, 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 blah. But that immunity should be removed. I want to applaud the Zambians, and I say that, yes, we need these laws all over Africa. No immunity for any leader. Never. Let them pay for whatever they did wrong. If you are not scared of the bad things that you do whilst in office, why would you say that you want immunity? For what? Dash it away. Now the last thing we're going to look at today, and we'll go, is a very interesting one. We are coming back to Ghana. Today I told you it's all about the church. Osofo ABOSOM is here. And it says, Ghana is now ready for an illiterate president. He says that the so-called intellectual presidents have all failed us. Therefore, it is time to have illiterate presidents. I met him last week, and he told me, oh, I love you, you know. I've always wanted to come on your show. So when we return on radio, we'll certainly have him talk. I played with him and said, prophesy to me. Tell me a prophecy. He said, oh, God has to inspire me first. Of course I know, but I was just teasing him. Run it, my youth. Watch it. He says, it's about time we let illiterates govern the country. The intellectuals are killing us. Osofo ABOSOM. Run it. He says the presidential candidate of the Ghana Union Movement, GUM, Christian Kwabena Andrews, popularly known as Osofo ABOSOM, has asserted that it is high time Ghanaians allow illiterates to lead the country. In justifying the claim, he noted that during the tenure of the late President Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, they were able to come up with projects like the Akosombo Dam and other essential developmental projects, whilst most of his appointees were not elite educationists. It's right. Krobo Eduse was not that educated, and much more. But they run it well. Some of them were corrupted, but They ran it well. The presidential candidate of GUM stated that most of the intellectuals who have governed the nation failed woefully. Hence, it is time for Ghanaians to reconsider their decision and vote for less educated people. Speaking in an interview with Kasapa FM and monitored by Ghana Web, Osofo ABOSOM urged Ghanaians to vote for individuals who are not intellectuals because the state of the economy is nothing good to write home about. GUM. He has spoken. He has spoken. He has spoken. That's it. Now, what this man is saying is what is called tongue-in-cheek. If you tell us that you have been to school to study the ways of the white man, so that you balance that with the black man's ways and be able to come up with the best, and yet you are the worst that we are having, then let's just continue with our black man's ways. That's all he's saying. It's a disappointment. Kennedy Japan is saying, you have tried educationists. You have also tried lawyers. Now try businessmen. That's what he's saying. Everybody has something to say. My brother, but I also want to say this. The fact that you are illiterate doesn't mean that you are stupid. There's a lot of wisdom in the heads of a lot of our illiterate brothers and sisters. In our country, when you speak English, everybody claps. Oh, Tibrofo pa, nene bie pa, nenum brofo. His English speaking is so much beautiful. They don't check the content of your brain. A lot of the people who made Africa proud in the days were illiterate. A lot of them. So what ABOSOM is saying makes a lot of sense. Makes a lot of sense. If our educated illiterates are treating us this bad, then let's go back to native wisdom. Let's think about it. A lot of our chiefs, they couldn't read or write. Nana Kwame Nkrumah couldn't read. He couldn't write. A lot of our chiefs and kings in Africa, they couldn't read. Some too could read and write. Let's think about that. He's speaking tongue-in-cheek. All he's trying to tell us is that we need people who have common sense. We shouldn't just see education. Better still, we shouldn't just see going to school and grabbing certificates as the visa to wisdom. A lot of the time, those things fail us. It's the Black Pot, a.k.a. Kukushounamon, where we speak truth to power. And I want to say thank you so much. I appreciate you. I love you. Now we're going to take your messages. All right? Osei Tutu says, Obofou is wrong to compare Ghana to any other country because Ghana is Ghana, who has its own, that has its own path and is walking and working on. It has its own history and its way forward. All right? Osei Tutu says, Viva Ghana to his destiny. Rafat Gibrin says, more fire, Blakk. Arozo says, more fire, my dear brother. And Emmanuel Williams, Mensa Fiagbanya, says, Black Rasta, you are a blessing to this nation and even Africa. Keep telling the truth. I will. Damas Mobash says, good evening, Black Rasta, watching you live from Upper West region. Hey, big up my brethren. Latif Adewale Adedeji says, we love Black Rasta. I like the comments you made to own a TV station. We will support you. Okay, to own a TV station. We will support you 100%. Long life, Black. Thank you so much, Latif Adewale Adedeji. Yes, our numbers are always running on the screens. You can always reach out to us. You know, and we'll always appreciate. Alaji Bini Yuri Bushali, Savulugu says, Alaji Bini Yuri Bushali, Savulugu. I like that name. Alaji Bini Yuri Bushali, Savulugu says, good evening, Black Rasta, watching you live from Savulugu. I am in joy with you. I like that. He says he's in joy with me. I'm also in joy with you. Kwame Selam says, more fire. Tompo says, Ghana, we are blessed with natural resources except wisdom. I like that. Jampana. Richard says, nice one. Frank Kopait says, these pastors contribute to laziness in our society. They live lavish lives from their congregants, but ask these same congregants to believe. Wisdom Agbonu says, good. Charles Fifi says, Black Rasta, love you, man. Okay, so we are back to YouTube, right? It's still Facebook. Charles Fifi says, Black, you are #1 confident radio and TV presenter. I thought you were going to say confident trickster. It's a long time I saw that thing. That's police English. Confident trickster, false pretenses. And I love watching and listening to you, big man. Love and respect. Tompo says they should do the same to Nanado. Oh, yes, of course. Latif Adiwale Adedeji says, Black Rasta, please keep on pushing our voices for us. Let the government know that we are ready to support this nation to generate more revenue from ganja farming in Ghana. Ganja farming can reduce unemployment in this country and solve 40% of our problems. Yes, let's wake up, Black Rasta. Only the police are taking the money to their pockets. Yeah, legalize it. Yeah, legalize it. It will help us. Other countries have done, and we have the best ganja. It will help us. And ganja doesn't mean smoke. No, factories and things. Thank you. We love you. We appreciate you. We catch you again tomorrow, Friday, between 5 and 6. Until then, hey! Wayo!